and I'm very excited to talk to Moud Goba today. Moud, you are an amazing woman. You're one of BBC's 100 most inspiring women. You have won many awards. You're an LGBTQ human rights activist. You've come to England from Zimbabwe because you were persecuted for being a lesbian. You're also the founding member and board member of UK Black Pride, and you are the national director of Micro Rainbow, which is an organization that helps and supports LGBTQ refugees fleeing from their countries because of gender sexual orientation. Tell us a little bit more, Mood. You have done such incredible work, and
Thank
both with
you.
the Micro Rainbow and also outside of it. Tell us a little bit how you got to that point.
Oh, thank you very much. In terms of how I got to that point, that's because everything I do is passion driven. I think I'm where I am because of passion, love, and that need for freedom and justice. So having gone through the UK process, the UK asylum process, I saw how lengthy, how difficult, and how re-traumatizing the process was. And I simply wanted to make a difference to people who are going through that process, to ensure that they're treated with dignity, kindness, in their search for freedom, and to be recognized just as, as humans, to be treated as such. And then in terms of UK Black Pride, I joined Lady Phil in a grassroots group called UK Black Lesbian. That's how um, UK Black Pride was formed, and they were the founders, and I was one of the founding members, and I've always kind of connected with UK Black Pride over the past 18 years, sometimes going and then coming back. And at the moment, I am the chair of UK Black Pride.
Which is amazing. Mood, tell us a bit more what you do with the Micro Rainbow, all the services that you offer to the people that come to the English shores seeking refuge.
So at Micro Rainbow, we offer safe housing. We work in three ways. We have safe housing, we do social inclusion work, and moving on work. The reason why we offer safe housing is because sometimes refugees are not safe in home office provided accommodation where they stay with other refugees, sometimes from the home country. So some of them do become homeless or abandon their accommodation. So we have housing. At the moment, we can provide up to 30,000 bed nights a year. Um, Thank you. So we have properties in London, and a lot of our properties are within the West Midlands, Birmingham, Walsall, Solihull, and then we also have housing in Leeds. And for some of our housing, we reserve them for people who are considered to have no recourse to public funds. So we really work hard to provide safe housing to people who are LGBTQI, refugees, and homeless. Our social inclusion work, it really warms my heart. That is more where we're working to reduce the extreme isolation of the people we work with. Obviously, when they come from their countries, there's no family. And sometimes when you try to join your co-nationals, that space is not available for you, especially if you are visibly different. You could be trans, or you can easily be picked out to be a lesbian or to be gay. So there's a lot of isolation, and people are rejected by their families. So we do a lot of networking. We've got like a dance group that's been going on for 2 years now. We've got another 3 years with that. We do really some workshops such as yoga or mental well-being workshops. And within that, we've got some groups for women, like Sister, that is specific for women, as well as a trans group. And then the most exciting for me is our moving on work. And for me, that signifies that, people can get to a space and they're able to move on with their lives. So we do employability work, CV writing workshops, learning about the UK job market, converting of qualifications. So anything to do with moving on, finding a job and starting again, including, starting education, higher education, English lessons, wherever someone is. We do take time to get to know people as a human being, to get to know their from that.
Which is amazing, Mood, and that's so much more that can be said for many of our other immigrant services. Mood,
Mhm.
so what would you say is your main motivator? We know that you're extremely passionate about this. You are a walking example of what
Thank
success looks like for an immigrant. So tell us what your main motivator is.
I think my main motivator is to just see LGBTQI people thrive, you know. I like freedom, the freedom to be who you are, the freedom to love, the freedom to be yourself is so important. You know, just living without fear, you love who you love, you know, you're able to work, to just bring the best of yourself or your many identities. You know, if you're a woman, you're Black, and you're queer, you should be able to bring all these identities together and just live without being persecuted for being who you are. So pushing these rights motivates me, and in the end, seeing people thrive, it's such a great motivator. Just to leave someone living freely and thriving, that's it. That's the motivator for me.
Yes, and that's a basic human right. And it is a basic human right to be a valued member of society, no matter what you look like, what your gender is, what your sexual orientation is. So it's really important work. Mood, what do you think are your top qualities that make you good at what you do?
I think I used to be very shy to answer that question before, but now I'm a lot more confident. Um, Perhaps I'll give you one of my quotes, right? That's from Audley Lorde, who's my favorite author. It says, when we speak, we are afraid that our words will not be heard or welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak. So I would say one of my qualities is definitely I am brave, I'm fearless, and I'm supportive. I'm also very resilient. Like I've walked through so many challenges in life, but I just ensure that nothing really drags me down. Um, I don't know if love is a quality or just an emotion, but I have love for people. I have love for community, and everything that I do is also rooted in love, whether it's an emotion or a quality. But
It's
there you
definitely
are.
a quality, 100%. And one
Yeah.
that is so needed, especially with our complex issues we are facing today as a world. I think human to human has to have a real future. Um,
Mhm.
and so we all have to speak up and work towards that.
That's true.
Mood, so what are you most proud of to date?
Hmm. I think I've really worked hard to be where I am, and I have so much grit and determination. But outside of all these achievements or recognitions, I think I'm just proud of being a mother. I'm most proud of my children. I'm just proud of being a mother, nothing else.
Yeah, I think most of us moms feel that way. In the end,
Yeah,
when it boils down to, the nitty-gritty, that's what we're here for.
right? You're like, you can search for anything else to be proud of, but I think that always comes top of the list.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Mood, so what would your top tips be for an LGBTQI refugee coming to the UK? What top tips would you have for them?
Um, I would say don't give up, you've already started the journey, and freedom will come. And while you're within this journey, don't forget yourself, don't forget who you are. Remember your passion, celebrate yourself as much as you celebrate others, empower yourself. It's an incredibly difficult journey. You will go through poverty, then you come to a country where the majority keep on empowering yourself and keep moving, keep moving, celebrate who you are, celebrate others. If you can find a mentor, find a mentor. If when you make it, if you can mentor others, do so. And always remember, if you make it, sometimes we're the only women just on a table. For women, we have that challenge of, there's only one woman in a space. Even if you're the only woman, or you're the only Black woman, or the only queer woman, or the only disabled woman, wherever you are, thrive, open the door for others, keep moving, keep achieving, and never give up.
Thank you for those amazing tips, Mood. Mood, so what are your plans, dreams, goals for your future?
The plans I have, I think I am still working. I'm thinking of studying a PhD journey. Uh, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. I've always wanted to complete a master's degree, and I've done that. I'm really at the moment also focusing on this new role. I was made a director in September. So I still have a lot of learning. It's been such an amazing learning journey. Obviously, I'm mentored. I've got like amazing mentors, my colleagues and my boss, Sebastian Roca and Jill Power, and also Lady Phil. She's such an amazing mentor, but still, I have a lot to learn. So plans, I'm still learning and might start my PhD journey soon.
That's amazing, Mood, and we wish you all the best. Who would you say were your role models?
Oh, I have many, but I think I've already dropped the name so many times. One of my main role models is Lady Phil Opok, who's the founder of UK Black Pride. That woman has been there for me since I was very young and arriving in the country, mentoring, guiding, supporting, encouraging. And another woman called Jill Power, who first saw the potential in me and said, okay, you can do this job. She helped me to learn the ropes and really supported me. So I have so many role models. Sometimes I even look at like women in Africa who are mothers or grandmothers. I'm not talking about women who are achieving or in high places. I'm talking about women who are in rural Africa, women farmers. Women have always been so how they educate generations, without education themselves. It's just amazing. I always have so many role models, and I don't know how to answer that question.
I love your answer.
One.
Thank you. It's amazing. And thank you for telling us your story today, Moud Goba, for being a role model for others. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
And importantly, I want to thank you specifically for this platform. It's absolutely amazing. Women do not always sing for themselves or show what they're doing. We tend to just bury our head and do the work. So to have a platform that highlights all these women is absolutely amazing. And I can imagine that so many young people are coming through and looking at all these women on your website and go, oh my God, this is amazing. And hopefully they're reaching out to some mentors. I was sat there for hours just looking and listening to some videos, and I'm just like in awe, where have all these women be? And thank you for this platform. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Mood. Thank you.
Thank you.